All right. So design process for a Kukri Bowie knife, hybrid survival knife. Basically just starting off here in Plasticity and in CAD softwares. I like to lay down the lines first. I think CAD, the way that it's built, it's really easy to make and modify lines, so you can come up with some design shapes and figure out your proportions before going to 3D when things become a little bit more difficult to modify. Plasticity has a lot of tools which make modifying things in 3D much easier than, say, other CAD softwares, but it still keeps my brain space more available when I'm just starting stuff out to mostly work with lines, and then add the dimensionality and work that out basically is the next step. So yeah, did that. As you can see here, I cut up the shapes, and I'm cutting up the shapes and figuring out the graphic reads, and that's another big piece of designing things with CAD that is useful. I don't do it as much in ZBrush because it's easier to modify the shapes, and then the cutting things into separate pieces is not as easy. But in CAD, cutting things into separate pieces is really easy, and it's one of the coolest parts about the tool. And so I cut stuff up rather than in ZBrush. I would just add pieces and develop that way. But as you can see, the graphic read helps separate the knife. It makes sense. It's the handle, but adding that extra color really defines that piece, and it helps me to separate from a design perspective into the small, medium, and large shapes. It does a really good job for helping me to figure out where the medium shapes are, and then define some of the detail. In here, just doing the classic finishing touches of going in and adding screws and bolts. And, that follows from the medium read that I was talking about with the cut up pieces, and then these details are just continuing to detail, continuing to not be content with the design, and fill in some areas, not all over the knife, but in specific areas. It's good to have those extra reads, and it gives your eye something to follow. So this is it. Thanks for watching.